Hi, my name is Joy Macknight. I'm Transaction Banking and Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm here with Ather Williams III, who's Head of Global Transaction Services at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Thanks so much for joining us today, Ather. We're at Sibos in Singapore. It's a very buoyant meeting. What do you think are the hot topics here at Sibos?
So there's a lot of buzz, obviously, around blockchain distributed ledger technology. And I think the promise of that technology and its ability to create transparency and link institutions in new ways has been a very hot topic. Now, where we are in the discussion, it's still early days, but there are lots of different participants, lots of different fintech innovators who are here and sort of mixing it up with the banks. So it's creating a little bit of a this more boisterous kind of environment, which is nice. I would say another hot topic is obviously faster payments, real-time payments, instant payments, however you want to characterize them, and sort of there's a little bit of debate on which scheme is the best. There's a fast scheme here in Singapore. There's lots of members from the UK here talking about faster payments in the UK. So it's kind of interesting. And coming from the States, there's a lot of discussion now with the Federal Reserve, who's also here, as well as the Clearinghouse and others around how we're going to approach our version of speeding up payments. That's a hot topic as well. And then obviously, regulation is still a topic. So around anti-money laundering, sanction screening, know your customer and know your customer's customer is another huge topic.
Okay. And what do you think are the challenges in terms of moving to faster payments? What do you see, especially from the US perspective?
Well, I think from the, globally it's interesting because when Australia comes online, there'll be 19 separate and distinct faster payments networks in the world, all of them very provincial, none of them interoperable, which creates an interesting challenge. In the United States, the challenge is we have myriad infrastructure. We have a very robust both credit and debit card network. We have robust PIN debit networks. We still have a check infrastructure. We have an ACH infrastructure that has gone from batch, multi-day batch settlement to same day as of September of next year of 2016, and so we almost have too many options. And so when you start finally slicing payment volume into those various rails, plus the wire infrastructure, it becomes very difficult to get scale and find which use case and what should go where. And quite honestly, in a world where consumers and businesses just want to transact and not care about what happens in the back, it becomes an internal debate with yourself. I sat on a panel yesterday where we discussed faster payments, and my biggest conclusion of that session was, next time we do one of these things, it shouldn't be bankers talking to bankers. We need to have some corporates, some consumer advocates, other people who are actually going to use this infrastructure to talk about what they want. And then we can solve for that versus solving for, well, I can do this way, and I can think about interbank risk and settlement risk and clearing messages and all this stuff that we love to talk about when we put our propeller heads on. But I think that'll be a better dialogue.
And what would you say is sort of the biggest disruptor technology in payments today?
I'm a little bit controversial. I think the biggest disruptor is regulation. I actually don't think the technologies are enablers. The disruption comes when the traditional way we've done things in terms of correspondent banking with Basel III and the kind of de-risking the chain of banks and sort of causing banks to rethink their correspondent networks, and has, in some cases, people will say push certain countries or certain institutions out of the mainstream. And I think that's caused the biggest problem because now you can't do things you normally did. And it's changed how people manage their balance sheets. I think about risk between institutions. And so it's going to fundamentally change how we interact with each other as banks. And I think technology is actually going to help bridge that gap and kind of make it work again.
And you took up your new role as head of Global Transaction Services in May. What do you think has been your sort of main achievement in the first 6 months?
So I would hope the team would say getting us all focused on one goal. I think as a global bank, we have lots of competing priorities, lots of client segments we serve, from the largest of the large global companies to smaller, sole proprietorships in the United States. And we operate in the 4 major regions. And so it can very easily get distracted and sort of run as a mob and not run together. And I've been trying to get the team focused on one goal for the business, supporting our clients, creating globally consistent and locally relevant solutions. I think that's been hopefully the biggest accomplishment.
And we're now on day 3 at Sibos. And obviously a lot of people are already looking to next year's Sibos, which will be back in Europe, held in Geneva. Do you think we'll be talking about the same things, or what do you think will be the hot topics there?
Interestingly enough, so I was in Copenhagen recently, and I think the topic is going to be financial inclusion. Because with the refugee situation, I think it's going to create an entire subculture of people who have been excluded from the traditional economy. And where we've been talking about, our high problems about how we're going to have payments on our mobile phones, when you don't have a credit history, you don't have a bank account, how do you participate in the economy? And I think creating jobs and making those people productive in society is going to be a topic we're going to see rise over the next year or two.
Excellent. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.